It's your channel. Okay, love you.
I'll
Bye.
I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I got two
Okay.
phones.
And L, I love you. I'm sorry we got a little head buddy in there, but it was good.
Thank you. No problem, Ian.
No, she does that with white people. It's fine.
Oh my
That,
Okay,
God.
awesome.
hello?
Okay. Bye,
If you
guys.
know Elle, then you know that she does that with white people. It's okay. Elle is a 5%. I mean, I'm spilling tea. All right,
That's fucked up.
I'm spilling tea.
I'm so,
Hey, that was a great talk with some great input from each of you, and that was a really good question to ask. And hey, how do somebody even go about asking that? And before you get there, you gotta like listen. Now that you go, you have the nuts to ask. Niggas don't have the nuts to ask. That's why I keep driving home the point about these check chasers. You chasing a check, they gonna put the little money in your face. Your brain not even gonna think of the other shit you could ask. So no, you gotta be brave enough to go in there, stand on your shit, and say, I want in on that. Or I'm out.
Hmm. But now, Joe, let me ask you a question because I know everybody earlier was talking about he didn't know, he didn't know, he didn't know. How do you not know not to get in a 360 if your mentor is Wayne?
I don't think they have the same experience, but I understand what you're saying. And and
You, I
and
know it's
and
not the
that's an
exact. It's
and
not,
that's
you
an
know. Yeah.
assumption to just how close they are to each
Hmm.
other's business. I want to get past the fan talk now.
Hmm.
We don't know that them niggas is tight.
Hmm.
You don't know if they kick it. You don't know how much they talk. We don't know shit about shit. And I do, like I said in the pod, believe that there was a time where Drake looked at him and said, all right, it's my turn now.
get me saying.
Well, not okay. So maybe not friends, but at least on record, Wayne, prior to Drake getting into his bag, Wayne had already been on record saying he had a bad deal, and then we kind of were privy to not all the details, but
But wait,
some.
we
So.
nobody, just for clarity, because I know people are recording us.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nobody is saying that Drake has a bad deal right this second, but Drake.
Facts.
No, not a bad deal. I'm not saying a bad deal. I'm saying even get into a 360
But
esque
but that's
deal is what I'm
another
saying.
a 360 ain't always bad. I think that's something that we just have
Okay.
out there that hear 360 and think is horrible. That's I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because if the
Sometimes
number is
it could
big enough,
work.
then it's worth it, right?
But not just the number. It's not just the number. I'm never just talking about money. I'm not a money dude. Money is not that important. I'm always talking about the treatment, the creative control, and the participation.
Yeah.
If we in a 360 and I get to be in on every call that a movie production calls and just throws out ideas, then I'm down. If we in a 360 to where it's you just coming to funnel to me whatever comes to you after you filter it and after you take 70% off the top and make me think that the 30% is 100%, all of the music industry games, then it's horrible. Then it's horrible. Every 360 is not the same. I think that homie looked at Wayne's shit. I want to call him homie too, but y'all's gonna get confused because they're taping the room. I think that he looked at him and said, damn, I see everything you went through. My situation isn't like that, and I'm going to make sure of it. So all of that cash money to Young Money to YMCMB to University, they had a lot of shit going on, but Wayne was always paid as talent. I do think there came a time where Drake stopped being paid as just talent. So he's at the graduation of that now, which is a tough spot. It's a tough spot when you already at the top and you're trying to grad. That's why I can't work for nobody. I can't work. I can't do that. I can't go to somebody and have them determine my shit. I'd rather go put all my eggs in my own basket. That's me. Everybody ain't. Most of the shit. 90% of this business is not like that. Most of these niggas are chasing a check. Some of them are living check to check. Everybody ain't as great. We on the internet. It just is all facades.
And can we talk about the other part? They have to eat, like, even with the Apple thing. I don't want to speak on this business, but he tried to convert that deal from cash to equity, and they told him no. Like, you have to be allowed into some of these rounds. Like, even with the Starlink space, there's deals I can't get into, even though I know people close to Elon. They gotta pick you. He tried to convert and get equity, and they laughed him out the building. Literally, like, no way in hell you'll get the equity you're asking for what we're gonna pay you. We'd rather pay you. There's layers to it.
Yeah, I just think he was much more valuable when he had the gun. When he had the gun, before he made everybody all of the money in the world. Like if he had all the confidence in himself and what he could do outside of y'all, I just think those conversations go differently earlier. Not to say that he can't get a win today. I just don't see it in the paperwork. This is not the first time the industry has dealt with payola. People will pay the payola fine to do the payola.
It's a cost of business. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So that's where so when you say that, Joe, that's exactly why I feel when I read that. It's like that's the cost of doing business, even though it may be a bit unethical at times. Why now? Why is this
Well, that's
round
why it's so
robin
important. But
the
that's why I
problem?
keep saying it's important to not act on the emotion. Why now is because not
Exactly.
like us and yada yada yada. We don't need to get into it. But had this been his mindset before not like us happened, he probably don't even entertain Kendrick.
I couldn't agree more.
He
I
would
agree.
he
Because then
would
you
see
already
the bigger
know the
play.
play.
But that's why
Exactly.
but see, I trust patterns, not people. That's why the beef with him for me was, yo, dog, even in battle, you on records talking to all these niggas that don't matter. None of these niggas matter. It's just coming from hurt. Talk to Kendrick and Kendrick only if you're going to do that. And if you see the bigger play, then don't talk to nobody because your voice is your weapon.
Exactly. So my thing is like, why couldn't Drake have done? Well, I don't want to say his name. Why couldn't he have done the Frank Ocean move and just handle it in a different way from an artistic perspective to gain the leverage that you're looking for, and then make your move
Because they're not
silently?
fighting the same fight.
Yeah, not at all.
What is the fight that? Well, can you explain
Frank
to me
Ocean
maybe
just
the
wanted to
difference
get
that
out
I'm
his Def
missing?
Jam deal and is probably on the fringe of retirement right this second. They are not fighting the same fight at all. You could give Frank $20 million
Okay.
and he'll go fade off into the sunset, never to be heard from.
And Drake is fighting
Whole
more for
different fight.
leverage.
Whole different fight.
Got it.
He fighting for it all.
Okay. hmm But do you think that's now I'm teetering and I might get some hate. But do
Don't
you
worry,
think
I'm
that
banging
his
this
fight
room in a
is
minute.
but okay, but do you think some of that fight that you're talking about for him is more so just an ego,
If
greed?
you're asking me
It's a
honestly,
fight for
I
greed.
think he deserves it.
I was about to say that too. I was about to
Mm,
say, I was about to say like he
I think
definitely
he
deserves
deserves it.
it.
Like, it's like I tell
okay.
people, like,
hmm
I got to see you treat one person right for me to know that there's a possibility for you to treat that next big person right. The music industry don't have any example of them treating any of us right. No matter how big you
Okay,
are
I
or
can
how
see that.
small you are.
And we keep
That
hearing
we
that.
don't
We keep hearing
we
that
don't
too.
we don't see the example. We have 100 years of the same thing. That's why, like, I would care more about this Drake shit if the Michael Jackson shit didn't happen. Like, but it don't matter who you are. So, but he was close. I just think he should have went about it a different way. Because Michael Jackson probably found
I
out
just
too
don't
late
think
too.
making an
Michael
enemy.
Jackson running around buying
Yeah, and you
publishing
making
and
an
trying to
enemy hurts
destroy
feelings.
labels. Drake could have. He had these niggas. That's why I'm mad.
Yeah, buying the Beatles catalog, I didn't understand until more recently that's a power move. I thought it was like, oh, he loves the art. I didn't understand what was going on when I first heard that, but that's a good point.
Wait, Joe,
I
before
agree.
you bang the room, can I ask you, can
Mm.
you explain something to me? Um,
Maybe. Let's see.
oh, like I was listening to somebody else's conversation and they were explaining that if Drake moves his catalog to independent, something about some point system changes because like Universal has a certain level of market share and that's why they can get the amount of money they get. And they said something like when Kanye took his shit, the shit moved 2 points. Do you know what they were referring to? And can you give me like a quick little breakdown of what the fuck they talking about?
Well, I cannot because every contract is not the same. So these are not just standardized numbers that you're talking about. Kanye signed a whole bunch of amendment. He amendmented himself to death. But I'm a genius, so I'll make my rounds in fashion, make my money, and I don't give a fuck about the rest of y'all. So I'm gonna say what the fuck I want. Kanye is a whole nother beast in himself. But he did it. That's what Drake gotta do. It's gonna take some people not liking you. But he gotta ruffle a feather and not Metro booming in them.
Squabble up. Hey, squabble up.
Yeah, like come
Hey.
the fuck on already. We hitting the 2030. You know how see I'm passionate about this shit. I'm really, really passionate. Do you know how frustrating it is to watch every industry boycott until they get what they want, except for musicians? Like it's just disgusting out
Mm.
here.
It's
It's
frustrating.
nasty.
It's frustrating.
It ain't not for me. I stepped right out of that maze.
No, but it's
Not for me.
frustrating.
But this industry has a different code, Joe. I mean, I thought that's I think the reason why you don't see it is because they have a
But
different set of morals in this industry. Other industries see it differently. This is the industry where we got street code mixed with, history mixed with different cultural connection. It's like it's just not black and
our
white,
I don't
obviously.
strength,
at
So
all.
how do you get on one page in terms of having an industry standard when
Who put
everybody
those
has
rules there
their
though?
because the
own
codes need
thoughts?
to change. Like things need to shake up and things need to change. Yes, that same thing that empowered us at one point, it can still empower us to a certain degree now, but there are things that we have to change and adjust in order for us to be able to truly thrive in said culture of hip hop. Like I think that we're hearing the same thing from too many artists, too many popular artists for us not to come together on something that we all agree on, and then we're allowing for particular artists to get thrown under the bus and suffer because everybody else just wants to keep playing by the rules. Like things need to change,
Right,
like
right, I
it
agree.
like things have to change. It has to.
Right, but it also has to start
I
different.
don't
I
want
mean,
to
I
have
don't know.
none of
Y'all want
these
it to be.
talks. You don't have. Well, for me, I'm only speaking for me. I don't have these talks once I realize most of the people volunteer to be in the system and want to be in the system.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah,
Literally.
that's what
Thank you.
seems
You
hard
took the
about a
words out of my
boycott
mouth.
to me. The
You
line is
took the
so
words out of my
long for
mouth.
niggas who want to be in your position that I don't even see how a boycott would work. Because as soon as 10 people say, hey, we're not participating anymore, 50 people gonna run up and say, well, put me in the game, put me in the game.
You moved out the
like
way. You moved out the
honestly.
way. It's
Oh, go ahead,
very
Dylan.
yeah. No, I was saying it's like a dog eat dog type situation and crab in a barrel type vibe. It's like, okay, once you move out the way, you was my biggest comp. Let me get in that meeting and have that conversation with old boy. Like this moment, you don't think there's 17 million rappers that's now trying to see if they can get their manager or their team to coordinate some sort of a conversation with UMG off the back of this Drake thing? I think it's obvious.
See, that's why. And if Drake maybe in 2016 ish, somewhere around nothing was the same before more life, somewhere around there. If he were to say, "All right, I'm starting my," let's call it a management company, even he could have called the shit anything. I'm starting my hub of artists where I will be grooming and helping. I'm saying before niggas knew that maybe that wasn't his bag with all of them other acts. Like if he said, yo, I'm mentoring, I'm starting a crew over here, and we're gonna move outside of yada 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 and incentivize them in some way. I think enough people join that to scare everybody else.
So do what Jay Z did.
I think yeah, but he was different. He was different. Hove was the old nigga coming to them with an amazing concept. So you got the big dogs to be down. I'm not saying that Drake should have just approached the big dogs. I'm saying he should have created his own market share, kind of like his own fucking Bitcoin. And he could have done that. I don't know how many other people can, but I'm not even seeing the attempts. So, and I don't care because it don't
That's what
have
I'm
nothing to do with
saying.
me.
Nah, I get what you're saying. I don't think you should use grooming, but I do get what you're saying, just in
But
reference to
I'm
yourself.
talking about grooming. That's the correct word.
It was a
But
joke. It was a
yeah,
joke.
but
Oh no, keep me out
but
of the
that's what I
jokes
was
now that
just
the
that and
lawsuits is
that's
flying.
yeah. But no, but that's another reason why I kind of made the R.B. Luther King statement is like I'm trying to find where did this turn on when because I feel like I don't see maybe again it could be my ignorance of not knowing but where has he ever attempted to make these type of power moves in terms of getting outside of like you said wanting to be in bed having these relationships and then those relationships not becoming
Ian, didn't you
fruitful
just
or
tell
as
us he
fruitful
tried
as
to
he
get
wanted
some
them to
shares
be.
of Apple? Didn't you just tell
Yeah,
us
he
that?
tried to get equity in Apple. They didn't like
That
they
was
have to
when,
allow you to
2015,
do that.
2016?
Yep.
Yeah, I just
We're
want to
making an
reiterate
assumption
that
he
I
has not
think
been trying to do this. I feel
No,
like
no,
he
no, no, no,
took
no,
it
no, no, no,
I
no,
didn't
no, no,
make an
no.
assumption.
Him
I
getting
just said
shares,
so
him
you
getting
come up here
shares
trying
in
to do too much.
anything is not the same
That's
as
not
what
the
I just
same
said.
thing.
That's building your
Thank
own.
as
you.
Yeah, yeah.
making his
Yes,
own.
yep.
It's not the same thing. Thank you.
but
That's
I
what
I
I
don't
was
just
know
want to
that
saying.
I
reiterate that
don't
I
know
do
that
think
Drake is
Drake
actually
has a
trying to.
good legal argument, and I do think although the streets is looking at him crazy, if he comes out of this getting out of his deal and getting a boatload of money and then having an opportunity to do even what Joe just said, then he won. So he may look goofy, but
Like, play it out. Like, for the basketball fans, it's the Heatles. Like, imagine Drake being Dwayne Wade and just talking to, yo, hey, Future, when your deal is up, hit me. Thug, hit me.
Yes.
SZA, hit me. All of these
Yes.
people that he just is around. Hey, Snow Allegra, when your shit is up, hit me. I gotta play. He could have just, oh my God,
That's what
whatever.
I'm
No, to
saying.
me,
That's
it sounds
literally
like you
what I'm
just want him to
thinking.
do what Jay Z did. It keeps sounding like that to me because that sounds like title to me. What you're saying. And then the first example, management company sounds like Rock Nation. This is the thing. I think it's a lot harder. It's easy for us to play Monday quarterback and be like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's hard to conceptualize what you don't see. That would have required Drake to be
To stop
and
fucking everybody's baby mom and try to see
oh
it.
my god. This
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
you
I'm out,
Yeah,
bro.
everyone
I'm gonna
different
spend time with the family.
priorities.
Love you, man. Appreciate you.
I love
Yeah,
family.
yeah, I
yeah,
I
do
just
y'all,
think
think
it's
y'all
a
that
wanted to
reason why
go
he
under the
keep
table.
bringing it up
Priorities is
because
priorities.
yeah,
Hey,
niggas had different versions of
I
winning.
can't go get in my escort bag because I have a big meeting and I got shit that I got planned. Sorry.
Yeah, I know Rick don't like when you bring up the fucking everybody bitches, but I think it's more than just like trying to hate on fucking everybody bitches. It's like, what was a win to
It's
you?
a
W-
headspace.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
what did
that's
you
exactly.
feel
exactly
like you
where I
were
was going
winning
with this.
because you
He
were shitting
clearly
on
did
these?
not have he didn't have the guidance or he didn't
No,
have
Rick,
the
hold on. No,
somebody
no,
to
it's a
show him.
personality thing. What is a win to you? What makes you feel like you the shit? Are you the shit because you won against these labels, or because you got a good positioning in this industry, or are you the shit because you made these niggas feel small
He
because you
didn't
was able to
even know
take
he
they
was
bitches?
fighting the label El Janelle. That's the point. Y'all can y'all. This is the thing. This is one of those things where ignorance is one of those things that it doesn't absolve you of a crime, but we should lend you some grace. Clearly, he didn't know, and you can fault him. You feel like that was immaturity. If you feel like that was him being childlike. If you feel like he spent way more
Yes,
time trying to
that's what
fuck
we
people,
saying.
baby mom. I'm
Yes.
I'm fine with the scrutiny and the criticism. Nobody's above it. What I'm saying right now is I what I don't like is we're having this conversation today because today it appears he's figuring something out. Today it feels like he's seeing the picture. He's done looking at his phone. He's starting to look at the movie screen. Next thing you know, he's going to be looking at the sky. That's what you've been trying to show him, the bigger picture. It takes people time
Well,
to see what you're trying to
But I
show
also
them.
but I
That's
also
Rick,
why I
think
was
that
well,
that
well,
that
agreeing
may
with
Rick,
not
let
be
me
Rick.
the
just speak for
play.
me. Let me just speak for me, just so we're clear. We have the conversation today because the paperwork that went out kind of confirms a lot of the things that people were thinking, but it was just speculative. That's why I have it today with a different tone. But go ahead, Jonah.
No, I
We
was
got
just gonna
eight
say
minutes
I
and I'm booming this. Improper improv is happening, and I've given you Clipper niggas your month. Your month. Merry Christmas. You keep it
right.
by giving it away.
Shout
Go
out
ahead,
to
Jonah.
Two
Talk,
Clean
talk
Johns.
about it. Talk about it. I just wanted to say this to the point that was made about the ignorance is bliss or grace. I think there's a big difference. There's willful ignorance, and then there's also ignorance by proxy. So you just don't know because you don't have the access. I do think that maybe some of the nuance that people can be speculative about, there's nothing wrong with it, is saying Drake's ignorance is because he chose to be ignorant. He chose to turn a blind eye and focus on other things. And to your point, he's now waking up, which is good. But I do think that that then can still come with, well, you're waking up when now it's of a non benefit to you. And I think that's just where the speculation of why does come into play. And it is fair. Now, is it accurate? But I don't think the ignorance card is a, oh, he didn't know he's this victim. No, I think he had enough access, enough relationships, enough connections, in my opinion, where that could have been you were ignorant, but ignorance is bliss to you because you were cool with the benefits you were receiving at the time, which is money, hoes, power, fame, success, all the things that are your equity. That's your equity. And I think that's what Elle was saying is maybe people have different levels of equity and maybe now Drake is saying, okay, now I want to change what I feel mine is.
Oh, I got another
And that's
question. I got
cool,
another
but
question.
I don't know.
Is Kendrick okay? So let's just say we assume everything Drake is saying is true. This whole conspiracy to almost replace him with Kendrick in a way. I know I know I'm a lightweight exaggerating, but let's just roll with it. Is Kendrick a hypocrite to take all of the shit that maybe Universal was doing for Drake and benefit from it and try to almost take that spot if his main thing has been so anti-industry, or is it like, yeah, maybe we
I,
want him to
I would
He's
get
a
to
say
that?
yes.
hypocrite and a pawn. He's doing to
or
Drake
or
what
hold on,
Chris
let me tell
never
you the
did to
or let me
MJ.
tell you the or let me tell you the or is it almost better for him to get that position because he seems like he has the rebel energy where he wouldn't have been just trying to fuck people bitches. He would have been trying to get us to where we're all saying we wish Drake would have went years ago. So is it a good thing? Like, yeah, put Kendrick there because Kendrick gonna play the game the right way, or is it like, oh, this nigga's a hypocrite, he talked all that shit, now he wants a
If Drake
position?
is too far behind, Drake is too far behind. Are we really going to argue that Kendrick can do it now? Is that the argument we're trying to set forth? If Drake is
Yeah.
too far behind, and he had
Do but what
Kendrick
we talking
Lamar
about
just
doing
got
what?
his record label like
Well,
3 years ago.
yeah, because yeah, no, yes, I would make that argument, Grandpa Rick. Let me tell you why. Because when y'all were describing when Drake should have did it, it was before he made everybody all of the money. So it's like when
Yep.
you were in a
Hmm.
position of, hey, you seem valuable and it seems like there's a lot of money coming in your future. That's kind of when y'all described as the right time to make that move. So that would kind of be where Kendrick is right now, correct?
I
And I
disagree
don't
with
think that
that.
at this point Kendrick would be able to be bought. I don't think that he's in a position. I think
That's
if you listen to
crazy.
some of his art, he does say no for real. If you listen to the art, there's a lot of uh pointing to I've been there, done that. I processed me wanting to be the nigga with the chains. Now I'm trying to, set people free, etc. With all the bars that all the Drake lovers hate. References where he stands and what's his value. So I do think pawn is I don't know how I feel about that. I won't say I agree or disagree just yet about that statement, but does it could it present that he's hypocritical? Yes, depending on how deep the relationship goes. How much he does. Him being offered opportunities like the Super Bowl is not a pawn. I mean, I just see it differently and I think it's okay. But I just don't see opportunities where he can get on that platform and present the way we know Kendrick has presented. Kendrick don't present cookie
Y'all
cutter,
believe this man marketing, and it's so
watered down
stressful because if
presentations.
y'all think that this man trying to be a martyr, he's trying to become what Drake is. He wants
Ain't
to
nobody
become
saying he's a
Drake. Why do
martyr.
y'all think he
What?
put out this album? It's never. He's not trying to fight the industry. He's in bad with the industry. They just give you a different
He definitely
presentation
Yeah,
does
than
why
not
you.
would he
want to
Yeah,
want to
that's
become
be
Drake.
Drake?
wild.
He doesn't want
And
to become
he
Drake at all. He
Nah.
He
actually
wait,
don't
is
hold
want to
the
be
on. How
Drake.
is he
antithesis of
not
Drake.
fighting the industry?
What are
Like,
we talking about? He's the
I don't see how y'all
antithesis
can't
of
see
Drake.
this.
I
What are we
don't see
talking
Everybody
about?
can see this. Why
We don't
is
see
he
how
now
you
making
can't see that he's
commercial
the
music? All of a sudden
antithesis.
he want to make West. He was just doing woke books and
He's
theses and
not making
theories and Pulitzer
commercial
Prize
music.
worthy albums, and now all of a sudden he want to bang with the West Coast. What do you think that is? Let's just put a plot together.
All of a
He's trying
sudden,
to
he
make
wants to
more
all
bang
of a
with
commercial
sudden he
music
Motown.
so he can
Now we
build
going now we gonna act like
more
the
commercial
bay. Now we
albums.
gonna act like that
yeah,
sound was
I
commercial,
would
huh?
Joe,
That
you
sound
see
is
me come off mute.
commercial.
Hold on, because
See
I've been
now,
in
this
Oakland
is
for
where
a
the
long
this is where
So
that
that
time.
rich
That's
sound
Hold
was
person
so
on,
is
hold
popping,
really
on,
huh?
hold
Yes,
passing
on.
y'all
roots right
cannot see
now.
this play. That's
Hell no.
insane to
That's
I've
me.
been in
crazy as
Oakland for
hell.
a long time, and
No,
that
it's the
is not the
praise y'all make
commercial
up.
sound
Like
that all
that's
you
not a
niggas
real
was asking
play.
for at
That's
all.
not
Y'all was
It's
commercial at
his
tripping.
all.
version of commercial. He can't go make Hotline Bling. Of course not. That would just be so obvious and off
Because he's
brand.
not he's
So
not
if I'm
chasing
trying
after
to
Drake. He wants to
transition,
Damn
you
was
know what I
destroy
make?
what
commercial
I
with
Drake
it.
make
did.
Luther. I make fucking TV off. I make Hey Now. This is the
But he's
closest he
already
can
had
get to
all of
what Drake
that. He's
makes.
done all of that
Are you
already.
saying you think
He's done all of that
I
already.
think
Did
that
we listen to
Luther's a way
Damn?
better scissor feature than that shake your ass
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah,
If you
and
talk
are
about
you
boo.
Rich
saying
Baby Daddy, sure, but you're
Song was
not really talking
horrible.
about Slime You Out. But that's fine.
That song was
I
absolutely
don't.
horrible.
This is the
Thank
thing. I don't
God
want
it's
to argue
gone
with
and
Rick.
over
do
with.
you
This
think
man
TV
is a
off is a
hypocrite.
commercial
He's showing
sound?
you
Hold
he's a
on,
hypocrite.
Rick,
He's
I'm
showing
asking you a
you the
question.
pawn. Y'all don't want to see it. Y'all believe the hype,
Oh
and
my God,
it's
Rick is going
clearly
through
that
her
he's trying to. He
series.
want Drake's spot. He want to be in bed with the industry. He's not trying to
Yeah,
destroy
we
it. If he was trying to
No, that's
destroy
not
it, you
clearly.
don't do this to
Look,
Drake. You don't get on a public platform and call that man a
you
pedophile when you
don't
know
do
he
this to
was
Drake.
Ah!
It's
for
crazy.
country
Drake did
music
it to
anyway.
Rick,
himself.
You
Oh my
know
Rick,
he
God, here
fucking
you
with
Rick.
Y'all
go.
got
Beyonce.
2 minutes
Okay,
Hold
and
on,
I'm
we got
booming it.
2 minutes.
okay, now here we
Rick,
go.
I
Here we
disagree with
go.
what you're saying. I think the reason why you think everybody want to be Drake is because you see value in Drake. There's a lot of people who don't have that same
Exactly.
I don't
analysis
mean
of. Hold
literally
on, let me
Drake. He
finish. Let
want
me
Drake's
finish, Rick. Let me finish,
spot.
Rick. Let me finish. There's a lot of people that don't have that same analysis of like Drake is the man, Drake is the spot to be. There's a lot of people who think Drake be on some fake ass shit, some copycat ass shit, some overly commercialized shit, and they don't want to be him. Especially a nigga who feels rooted in what Pac was doing. It doesn't match that a nigga who looks up to Pac wants to be Drake. They're opposites of each other.
And can I say something to what you're saying, Elle? Can I say
Yeah.
something what you're saying? Absolutely, Kendrick should be the
We
person in
got
play. But
one
you want to
minute.
know what? We want
We
to get a
have
Dun dun
one
grand
dun.
colonizer
minute